the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Shalom, Yasha Allah, peace Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, infinite glory, and the honor unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rachakwadash. I also want to give double honors to all the elders and the Akim that's out there preaching and teaching this word in truth and in sincerity, doing everything to make your calling and election sure. Shalom to y'all and y'all families. I also want to say shalom to all the Akim and the Akwatham out there that's out there receiving, learning, believing, and keeping the faith. Shalom to y'all and y'all families as well. It's the brother malakahmawan back in the spirit once again, here to feed the lambs and the sheep of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and Lord will this lesson is edifying for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel only. So today's lesson just going into how the new brain jabbing, program is starting to ramp up. I'm going to go back into the scripture. It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is from the sciencetimes.com. It says Neuralink, can Elon Musk's brain CHIP implant create superhumans? And right now we're starting to see a lot of MLB forehead programming. We've been getting it some from the RFID jab in the hand, but now we're starting to see it in the forehead as well. Starting to see it ramped up, which has just been on the scene for a minute, but it's starting to get more propagated now. It's starting to get promoted now more in society, and they're trying to do it through the illusion of performing miracles on the earth, or giving you quote unquote miracles or supernatural, superhuman abilities, via the brain CHIP. So I want to go into the article a little bit because it's going to explain that. So let's start at the beginning. It says Neuralink is one of the trending topics under the umbrella of Elon Musk collective conglomerates. The company plans to roll out the CHIP as fast as they can, and there is nothing that can stop the brain CHIP project as it is being developed at the moment. With that said, many questions arise along with the growing anticipation of the brain SHIPS launch. So can Neuralink create superhumans in the future? And that's the thing right now. They're trying to sell this brain MOB under the guise of it can create superhuman abilities. It can give you abilities to do things that you never thought were humanly possible, or reverse disease, or, give you abilities to, it'll give you access to have back certain abilities that you lost, such as, cognitive function, speaking, walking, things of that nature. We can go into a few articles on that. So I want to go down right here to go into something that they're trying to do with this, because they're trying to basically sell it on a standpoint of reversing cognitive function diseases such as Alzheimer's, dementia, any kind of spinal cord disease or spinal system, complications or problems, things of that nature. So this is a part of the article. It says Neuralink's brain CHIP project is far from AI fantasies and speculation. The key interest of Elon Musk's brain CHIP implementation was to help various individuals with different neurological disorders. The BMI CHIPS are being developed to provide assistance and potential treatments to a growing population of patients with Alzheimer's disease, severe spinal cord complications, and dementia. Once the Neuralink CHIP development is complete and approved by medical experts, it would be a great contribution to the few neurological solutions in our history. And they said, basically, this is was the word on the street is that this is going to be out by the end of 2021. That the Neuralink CHIP is going to be on the scene by the end of 2021. So this is coming really quickly, man. Let's go into the scripture. Revelation 12 and 12. Actually, let's just go Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. And Esau Edom knows he got a short time to, prolong his society. He got a short time to implement the things that he wants to implement before that war in heaven comes. Revelation 12 and 7, there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So there's a short time that's before that war comes, man. And before going into verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, and the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So it's a short time before that time period comes where the archangels come, YAHAWASHI and the archangels come in those chariots and cast down the devil, man, cast down Satan, cast down Esau Edom, and his deception upon the world and his rulership via deception. Esau Edom knows that time is running up. So they're trying to deceive the world very quickly and come down with that new world order programming in a hasty way, which is why they're trying to sell you on certain. They're trying to sell so-called benefits. It's just they're using the benefits of this as a selling point. To really for the control of your mind, body, and soul, really to get you stamped and marked, as their possession, and then they can do with you whatever they see fit. Another article says a new brain implant automatically detects and kills pain in real time. And that's another thing they're trying to do as well. They're trying to sell this on the standpoint of the brain CHIP is going to be able to instantaneously detect and target and cease pain within the body. Basically sending trigger points to whatever the area of pain within your body is, sending lasers and trigger points, to that area to be able to cease it from pain. That's what they're trying to sell you on. You got, well, that's another point as well. But you got another article, experimental brain implant instantly detects and relieves pain. And that's what they're trying to sell this on. They talk about in the article how they've been testing it on rats and animals and things like that, and how they've been testing in the lab and having, putting the implant in the rats, and then, the rats, wherever the rats have pain from doing certain, physical activity or, whatever they, whatever and whatnot. Basically, the brain CHIP is going to be able to detect that pain, be able to cease pain from that rat, and the rat to be able to go on, pain, relief of pain free and whatnot. That's how they're trying to sell this on, man. You go down to the article, it says, one of the selling points is pain relief, man. So they're trying to basically tell you that you can stop chronic pain, arthritis, whether it be heavy pain or even light pain, and that's the thing about it is too, like, they're causing the pain to try to bring the solution for the pain. So you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of people have certain pains through poor diet, which that's something they have implemented as well, through diminishing the health factor of the foods, whether that be through putting human meat inside fast food or putting all kinds of pesticides and harmful chemicals on so-called healthy food, like, fruits and vegetables and things like that. Whatever it may be, like the scripture say, we eat our defiled bread in the land of the Gentiles, mixing in all kinds of different, fetuses and fungi and whatnot into, things that are supposed to be, so-called food. Like that Subway thing that happened a while back. Like, I think this happened like a few months ago, where they did a test on Subway tuna, and they found out that Subway tuna actually had no tuna inside of it. I mean, that's crazy. I actually know someone who got extremely sick from eating Subway tuna. And it's crazy to find out that that tuna actually has no tuna inside of it. It's just a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of feces and fungi and, just all kinds of different filler agents, to try to make it like a food, like a tuna like consistency. But it's not really tuna at all. So through the diet, another way they're doing this through 5G. 5G radiation on the phone, 5G towers everywhere. It's causing pain within people, headaches, constant headaches, migraines, pain throughout the body, whatnot. This, that, and the third. You know, that's also another factor as well. Also, we got to remember the CV. People are getting sick. People are getting you know, feeling bad out here, because of the CV and also the mask. The mask is something that's tainting people and not allowing people to breathe properly. The chemtrails in the air. I mean, there's so many things that they're using that's not. So when we breathe in, we're breathing poisonous, air and whatnot. There's so many things that cause pain within the body or deterioration of the human body, within people, and they're trying to provide the solution, to that. And also, a lot of people don't really get into actual healing, into herbs and real, earthly medicines and things like that. A lot of people like to go to the drugstore to get, a prescription, which that just provides a temporary fix, and also too with that takes a while to kick in. They're trying to sell this as instantaneous, targeted pain relief. That's going to act as a selling point to people who have a weak mind and who ultimately have a weak spirit. Let's go down. It says, in another test for both mechanical and chronic pain for inflammation, think arthritis, chronic back pain, or fibromyalgia, or fibromyalgia. Yeah, fibromyalgia. Basically, what they're doing is they're basically saying that you can rid yourself of these pains right here, or that the program is being set in to rid yourself of these pains via taking the brain CHIP. Basically, just selling points. Like I said earlier, these are just selling points of providing so-called benefits to be able to really have control of your mind, body, and soul. A new era of pain management. This one particular spot in the article I wanted to get. Salaki, let me just find it. Where it talks about targeting pain relief. Salaki is trying to find that area that talks specifically about the targeting of the pain relief. Oh, but let's get this right here in the meantime. It says chronic pain is like a horror movie monster that sneaks up on you. It's unpredictable, lingers silently, and when it strikes, it's often too late to tame. And that's the thing right there. Basically, they're trying to sell it as, you have certain pains within your body and the certain medicines we've already provided for you. They take too long to kick in. They take too long to activate. So with this brain CHIP, it's going to immediately be able to target and target through trigger point technology, target the pain and be able to cease you from that pain. That's how they're trying to, that's the selling point they're trying to use with it so far. Of course, more is going to come out, but this is what they're doing so far. Okay, this is the point I wanted to get on right here. It says for a brain implant, this one's particularly special. It's basically a tag team and spy sleeper agent. The spy listens to electrical chatter in the brain regions that process pain, along with dozens of other tasks, and decodes it in real time. Once it detects an electrical signal that suggests pain found, it sends the information to the sleeper agent, a computer chip implanted in front of the brain. The CHIP then automatically triggers a light beam to stimulate the region acting neurons that can override pain signals. And that's the thing right there. They're trying to basically use this technology to use trigger points where the pain is going to be and to be able to override that signal that's going to send to the brain. Basically catch it before it sends the signal to the brain. That's really what they're trying to do right here. Trying to make technology seem like a god. You know what I'm saying? That's ultimately what Esau Edom wants, and that's the deception of them as well. And there's a variety of different tactics they're trying to use. You got one over here that says 18 years after he paralyzed, brain implants are letting this man communicate again. I mean, you got different tactics that they're trying to use to sell you on submitting your body to a brain, implementation. Do certain like miracles and phenomena that would not never humanly possible. Like this one says, cutting edge technology is giving a voice to a man doctor said had zero chance of getting better. That's the thing. They're using trigger words like zero chance of getting better, never before seen. Superhuman abilities, things like that to sell you on. Oh, if I get this brain CHIP, I'm gonna have powers and abilities that I never thought possible. I'm gonna be able to do things that only a certain sector of people have the ability to do. Trying to make you feel special, and give you abilities to preside over your fellow human. That's what they're trying to, pretty much sell it on. So let's go into some scriptures. This is Revelation 19. I'm gonna go down to verse 19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he would deceive them that have received the mark of the MOB, and them that worship his image. These both are cast into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And that's the thing right there. The scriptures say to deceive them that take the MOB. This is all through deception. This is all through manipulation tactics. Because none of this shit is really gonna happen. They're gonna have certain crisis actors and and I'm not saying that this technology doesn't have the ability to do certain things. I'm sure it does. I'm sure because it has to be somewhat believable. It has to be potent for it to be a true selling point to the people. But they are going make it seem too good to be true. They are going, or not make it seem too big. They are going to fabricate it, and promote it more than it's, given effectiveness. If you get what I'm saying, that's pretty much what they're going to be trying to do, with it. They're going to have certain celebrities and actors and whatnot, crisis actors and whatnot, get these fake healings and all this and the third. These things, a lot of these articles are going to be fake that come out about people getting healed from this, people reversing chronic pain, people reversing Alzheimer's, people being able to walk again, people being able to speak again, people being able to hear that was never able to hear, people being able to speak that were never able to speak. A lot of that's going to be, they're going to propagate all that through actors, through crisis actors and, people of such sort in the media to try to sell you on this. But really it's deception to get you to worship his image. That's really what it's all about. Because ultimately he wants your mind, body, and soul. He wants you to bow down. He wants you to bow the knee to him, and forsake YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI for the upliftment of his new world order society. And basically make you an MK Ultra slave and an MK Ultra puppet for his new world order society that's coming in very soon. Because honestly, when you take any of these devices that are coming, you're pretty much submitting your mind, body, and soul to being an MK Ultra, slave and a puppet. Because they're gonna have control over your mood, your actions, your mannerisms, your thoughts, all of that, man. So I'm not saying that it's not gonna have certain abilities to do this, that, and the third. I'm sure it will, but also with that is gonna come complete submission of your mind, body, and soul to Esau Edom. Which you have to forsake YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI in order to do so. Let's get Ephesians. Well, I'm in Ecclesiasticus. It's a lot. This is Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So that's the thing. This is spiritual wickedness in high places right here. It's deep level spiritual manipulation. You know, they're basically trying to prey on the people's most vulnerable areas, insecurities, disabilities, disorders, things that people feel very vulnerable about. I mean, people that can't talk, people that done lost their memory, people that can't walk, things that people would, if they 100% could, they would definitely change. So that's going to be the selling point to get people to take the brain MOB. And they already got the hand MOB, with the CV. They're doing that right there. But the brain MOB looks like they're trying to use this angle and cover this angle with selling you on, being able to have access to certain, human phenomena that they thought was never possible, and be able to reverse things that were once lost, and that's literally preying on people's, insecurities, and that's what Esau Edom is about. That's what the wicked is about, walking privily, roaming the earth privily, seeking whom they may devour, man. Let's go to the book of Psalm. It's Psalm 146 and 3. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. So that's the thing right there. Like, there's no help, in these people, man. There's no help in these people of the world. You think that it's help. You think that, he's there to provide some assistance for you. He's there to provide some stability or some, ultra level, divine assistance in terms of reversing things that you had that were lost. But the end of it is not it's not there to help you. It's there to really control you, through certain forms of technology, having access to your mind, body, and soul, your thoughts, and make you more submissive to his system and make you more docile before him, so that whenever he comes out with things in the future, your mindset is already programmed to accept the doctrine and the philosophy that he's coming with, man. Let's get which is why, like scripture say, it's ultimately no help if you trust in them, even though he tries to cast it as help. This is Proverbs 29 and 25. The fear of a man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. And the fear of the man bringeth a snare, man. When you live your life in fear of a man, that ultimately brings you to a snare, man. That takes you away from the trust in the Lord, and that push you in, that casts you in the shadow of his wickedness. That casts you directly in his direction for the attack. Because ultimately, fearing something goes into idolizing them. So when you fear him, you're putting yourself in direct, lines, for the attack. Like I said, you're putting yourself on the front lines, of the battle. When you choose to, have a certain level of fear, for this man. And ultimately, how that's gonna manifest in the world is you're putting yourself on the front lines to take all the devices, man. To take the MOB in your arm, in your hand, or in your forehead, man. So you're gonna be able to. So because you fear him, and see, that's the time. Oftentimes, with heavy fear comes heavy delusion. If you fear him, you're gonna delude yourself into thinking that everything that he said, you have a minor illness, you have certain ailments with your body, and everything he's, promoted to you as a fix through the MOB for the ailments that you may have. You're gonna convince yourself that, okay, if I take this is gonna be able to alleviate me of these problems, because you're under that spirit. You're under that spirit of delusion, because you're under a heavy spirit of fear as well. You see what I'm saying? Those two often go hand in hand, but it's not a good thing for you. At the end of the day, that's going against YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and there's a heavy judgment and a heavy penalty for that. You know, let's go to Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his veil. Actually, I'm starting at 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, these are the 7 archangels, 4 of which we know are Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael. But there's 7 of them. Go your way, go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, the MOB, and upon them which worship his image. There's going to be a great sore and a great sickness come upon you, man. Really going to those plagues, those missiles, that famine, that destruction, that death and sickness. That's all going to come upon you because you worship this man, his image, man. It's not going to be pretty, in that day for people who choose to go in this direction. People who don't take heed to the signs and don't understand that we're not that, and don't have cognitive understanding that we're in a spiritual battle, and we got to hide ourselves in the word, man. Hide ourselves in these scriptures, hide ourselves in YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, so that we can have the wisdom, knowledge, understanding to be prudent in this day and make the right decision. Because if you make the wrong decision, one slip up could be your ass. One slip up will be your soul. One slip up and you'll be hit with all the plagues, man. And you're hit with a grievous sores will come upon you, man. Whether that be a missile take you out, whether that be famine take you out, whether that be, you getting killed take you out, whatever it may be. Whether you have to get drafted into World War III, whatever it may be that's going to come upon you is going to come upon you because you decided to worship the beast in his image by taking his mark. That's how it goes down. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know when that day comes. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord, woe be in destruction. And that destruction is going to come through those swords, through those grievous swords, man. In Revelation 16:2, coming from the holy angels, man. Or also coming from Esau, Edom. Through you having the devices in your brain. I mean, you could be in a position where they could program your CHRP to eat yourself, to eat other people, to cause you to go into self-mutilation, whatever it may be in that day. Or to go out trying to be a super soldier for them and get your ass clapped. All kind of things can go down when you choose to trust in this man. Verse 25, I will not spare them, go your way, ye children, from the power to defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. Now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. And that's the thing, you sinning against YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, when you're doing something he deliberately told you not to do, especially on the level of the MOB, because there is no repentance for that. There's no coming back from that, man. You will get the wrath, you will get the wrath and the wine without mixture. Let's go to Revelation, the 14th chapter, just to expound on that point. Revelation 14:10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. Actually, let's go up, verse 9. The third angel followed them, saying with a voice, if any man worship the beast and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. And they had no rest day or night who worship the beast of his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And that's the thing right there, man. That wine without mixture, perpetual and eternal damnation. Now 2/3 of our people are going to come back in the kingdom in everlasting shame and contempt, which we don't know exactly how that's going to look. But there's no expound the point of how there's no coming back from this, and how the Most High will, like it says in 2 Esdras 15, Most High seeth all that sin against him. So the Most High knows who took that MOB for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what reason you thought that it was profitable for, because you had an illness, because you had an injury, because you wanted to cure yourself of this. It ultimately don't matter, man. You're gonna be left desolate when that time comes, because you chose to sin against Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. So you're gonna get that fire and brimstone. You're gonna get those missiles. You're gonna get those grievous sores. You're gonna get that wine press. You know, like the scripture say, wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture. So it's without mixture, meaning just all out force, of plague, of damnation, of damage. Most High just gonna do heavy damage on people, man, in this day. You know, that's that without mixture right there. Let's go to Jeremiah, because it's gonna be left desolate if you trust, in men. Jeremiah 17, start at 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose the heart departed from the Lord. He shall be like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt land, and not inhabit it. That's the thing right there, man. You're not gonna find no rest. You're not gonna find any real rest. Esau Edom's gonna sell you on the fact that by taking these devices, you're gonna be at a state of rest within your mind. You're alleviating yourself from certain pains, from certain like all I said in the video, certain pains, injuries, diseases, whatever it may be, to try to create a place of rest within your mind. But you're ultimately not gonna have no place of rest when Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI come, because you're not gonna be able to see when good coming. So when Yahawah comes on those chariots, you're not gonna be able to take part in that upliftment, man, in that salvation, in that real rest, because you chose, pseudo rest on this side. And that's anyone who trusts in man. And the ultimate fulfillment of that in these days is taking the MOB. You're gonna be left desolate to die on the earth. That's how it's gonna go down, man. I want to get this precept right here. This is Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness. And that's the thing right there, man. The MOB, it's gonna seem right to people, man. It's gonna seem like it's the most logical decision to make, especially when they start showing and proclaiming certain tests in mainstream society. They start to say, we've tested it on these amount of subjects, we tested it on animals, we tested it in humans, and more articles start coming out, like the ones I was reading earlier, about people having certain health miracles and whatnot, or so-called health miracles, through taking and through the implementation of the Neuralink in their brain, and how it so-called benefited them. That is going to seem like the logical decision in that day. But the end thereof is death. The end thereof is destruction. The end thereof is those grievous sores, that sickness, those plagues, that famine, those missiles being shot in your ass. That's going to be the end of it, man. Getting shot up by Michael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, and of course Yahawashi leading the charge, and the other three angels, which we don't know the names of. One of those angels gonna get your ass, or Yahawashi, man, or you're gonna go into World War III, or you're gonna die in famine. I mean, I'm just saying this just to expound on the point how there's no way out. If you take that which seemeth right unto a man, you're going to die in some way, shape, or form. Whatever that may be, that's up to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, but you will be taken out, in that day. And this is what they're trying to do through the programming and through the provocation and whatnot of the Neuralink MOB in the media as the alternative to the RFID MOB in the hand. You know, so all this is coming. I mean, you got people saying brain implants could let us see another person's deepest secrets. I mean, you got a lot of people who are silly enough out there who will do this just to be able to read another person's mind. Because people, you know, are not confident with themselves. People oftentimes are always trying to figure out what the next man is thinking about. A lot of people are in this thing for vainglory, trying to see what the next person is thinking about them all the time, to try to see how they can even improve themselves or how they could counter what someone is already thinking about them to put themselves on the winning end. You know, that's the selfishness and the narcissism in society, but still. But you got a lot of dumb people out there who will take this, you know, for this ability right here. And that's that way to semen right into a man. So it's coming very soon. Like I said, they said that this thing is going to be out. It's going to be in the beginning stages of being shown in humans and being in the beginning stages of being promoted and being able to be sold to humans, you know, or being able to, I don't know if sell is the right word to use, but have access, humans will have access to it by the end of 2021. Got a lot of time until that time comes. So it's coming. Build yourself up in the spirit and stay away from temptations of the wicked. With that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Dash. Lord, word of lessons edifying for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And Shalom, Abba, keep the faith.